Hello and welcome everyone to Of Dice and Destiny, where we are tonight going to be exploring the centre of Londinium. Based on the previous episodes that we've had, turns out that our crew here seem to be unable to recall that rather traumatic and tragic event that occurred to Aura. Why, I do not know.
Simple, we're traumatized.
Very true, actually.
You have a psychologist to help you with that, though.
That's a good thing, then.
Yeah, you really should take advantage of that one.
Yeah, I probably should.
Although, isn't it against a psychologist's code of conduct to treat friends and family?
Yeah, technically.
Right, you'll have to.
Now we're in a dilemma.
Now you're screwed.
Well, Steve's going on a different journey, guys. See you later.
Well, who's really gonna come after her for doing that when we're literally in another world?
Do you know the rules of this world? Or the code
No,
of conduct
I
of...
haven't seen any psychologists
Well,
either, so...
I do, so what are the rules of this world?
Roll an intelligence check.
Alright, hold on. I know my intelligence is a +3. Where's my D20? I don't have the roll 20 open yet. Hold on.
Pre-game
dice?
rolls, everyone. Pre-game rolls. This is going to be good.
Okay, that's a 14. 14!
Well, in terms of psychologists here, you would know them as trauma surgeons, where
Okay.
they don't just deal with head injuries, they also deal with the psychological aspects of looking after someone's mind after a traumatic event has occurred, hence the name trauma surgeons. They tend to go in with a scalpel and cut deep compared to psychologists here in the real world, where they will cut deep but gently. Trauma surgeons tend to use a bit more blunt force with their words.
So you mean they lobotomize people?
Depends on how bad the issue is.
You heard it here first, folks. We get lobotomies.
So, with that little tidbit of this world safely in your hands, we do have a couple of announcements. The first announcement is going to be that next week we will not be having any sessions at all. That is because one of our good friends and fellow D&D player and DM is getting married, and we will be off to celebrate his wedding. So no comments or celebrations from anyone? Okay, fine.
I wooed
Wow.
quietly.
I
I didn't want to interrupt you, so I wooed quietly.
We love marriage. Yippee!
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 So,
Yay!
I think it just didn't pick up for me. I said yippee.
It's a D&D marriage. Oh my god.
So yes, we will be away at that wedding, so there won't be a session next week. This is from all of us here as a pre-celebration, and congratulations to our wonderful, wonderful DM from Roll for Imagination. Congratulations, and I will see you there, as will two of the others of us.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Applause.
Yeah.
So that's the first
And party.
announcement. And we start off in a celebratory mood. So we'll continue the second announcement here. We have hit a milestone. And there will be another milestone coming up very, very shortly. And that milestone is 200 subscribers on our YouTube channel.
Yay! Congrats, everybody. Hello, everybody.
So what I would like for you all to do...
us.
Yes. What I would like for all of you to do is spread the word of the Dice and Destiny channel and the D&D Void far and wide. Hit that subscribe, those like buttons, and let's get some more people up, because as soon as we hit our next milestone, which is 500 subscribers, we get what's known as a hype button. And I am very much looking forward to seeing that, because I know very much so that there are a few people, especially us, that want to hype the channel and the game. And with that comes more opportunities for us to present you all, our listeners, with yet more content. So, with the announcements done, let's get into tonight's episode of Dice and Destiny.
Yippee.
Session 19, as I have it listed. Session 21, as
Yes, 21.
Jess has it listed, was known as the Aftermath.
No, last session was 20. This session is 21. Sorry. To be pedant. It even says so on our YouTube channel. Well, if we go by our YouTube channel, it's session 22. Sorry.
Look, I got confused, okay?
It's session something.
It's not D&D if there's no chaos, guys.
I blame the players.
And you.
Yeah.
It's their story, not mine.
You're
You're the
the
one telling
DM.
it.
Yeah.
I'm just narrating it.
I'm a
But
detailed
pointing-
note taker. I say we go with the note taker who has tonight's session as I have a cat on my notebook, but I believe I wrote down session 21, but the cat has decided to sit, so I can't see.
Fair.
What if we blame it on the cat?
To be fair, it could quite well be the cat's fault for jumping on my keyboard at one point and deleting.
Which cat?
The only one that jumps on my keyboard, Ozzy, who fortunately is fast asleep right now and shouldn't be disturbing us until about halfway through at the critical moment, as per.
Well, don't jinx it.
I'm not jinxing it,
No.
I'm predicting it.
We all know it's going to happen. It happens every session.
Yep, at least once.
At least once.
So, getting back on track, because you lot are you lot are terrible tonight, I'm telling you.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
you wanted us to try to distract you. Well, we're trying now.
You
Right?
know what? You brought this on yourself, to be honest.
It's true, I did. I did ask them to, and tonight they've been rather successful. So, let's recap the Aftermath, the last session. It opened in the fallout from the Black Glass Writ, from the Watchtower, where you had survived the outpost, taken down the assassin and the wizard threats that was in there. You recovered some research notes, powders, a cipher key, and learned that Of Dice and Destiny may exist in Albion as some kind of prophecy text, as was emphasised by Viren? Not Viren.
I would tell you, but the cat's on my notes.
I think it's Viren.
It was Viren. Vice
think
was
so.
the other one.
Yes, Vice was the tiefling.
Yes. So as Viren.
Mm-hmm.
He had also revealed enough to make it clear that the party's presence, their black glass, and their strange origins are all becoming far more dangerous than you lot first realised. The morning of the Aftermath begun at Marla's house, where the party had finally had a long rest. Aura woke before the others, unsettled by everything that had happened, and she left a simple note saying that she had gone for air and took Milo with her. She wasn't running away. She was trying to find quiet, maybe a chapel, maybe somewhere green, maybe just somewhere that did not feel like Londinium was pressing down on her so much. Instead, Milo had heard something in an alley, and Aura found a wounded young runner and several prisoners being moved by members of the Black Glass Writ. Aura stepped in and chose to help. She used light first, not violence, and then called on Shante and brought green life up through the dead stone of the alley. She and Milo fought hard enough to free the prisoners and get them running, but the Writ were not there to kill her. They wanted restraint, not death. A silence effect cut off her prayer and Milo's bark of warning, and after Aura got the last prisoner moving, she was struck down, bound, hooded, and taken. Milo, injured, made it back to Marla's, carrying the evidence of what had happened, a torn strip of Black Glass Writ cloak, the black glass dust, crushed green plant matter, and a note marked with the Writ's sign, and a message that was direct and cruel. She chose the others first, we'll see how long it lasts. Milo kept growling towards Londinium, making it clear that whatever had happened, Aura had been taken in that direction. You, as a party, didn't immediately charge in, which, in hindsight, was the right call to make. You were all angry, upset, or frustrated in one way, shape, or form, but you knew that you had barely survived one proper fight with the Writ and their agents, and you accepted that rushing in blind wouldn't help Aura at all. So you decided to continue with your plan to get into Londinium, find the Tailors of Cambridge, and use the delivery job as cover, and follow any lead that could bring you closer to Aura. Steve examined the cloth and the residue. The black glass dust was finer than what had been found at the lab, suggesting it had been more heavily processed. The green matter carried a familiar divine trace, close to Aura's prayers to Shante. When you used direct detect magic, you found both divine residue and divination magic tied to the black glass dust. You retraced the path, you found the alley where Aura was taken, and Milo confirmed the spot where she fell. Chris, using Speak with Animals, and Milo gave the clearest emotional account. Aura freed the prisoners, saved them first, and fell where Milo later lay down. You also encountered the young runner Aura had saved, and he confirmed that Aura could have run, but chose instead to free the prisoners. You were given more context by the runner on the Writs, where you found out they were feared by the poorer and less protected people of the city, and if someone wasn't useful, noble, or protected by money and status, the Writ can simply take them. Rumours are ugly, forced labour, dangerous experiments, people being broken and used in the name of science and progress that pushed the Writ from dangerous faction into something much, much nastier. After recovering the runner's lost message and letting him go, you discuss contacting Ironstead, calling in favours, getting the word out, but the immediate priority stayed the same: reach Londinium. You return to the practical route already given to you and use the west side smuggler's entrance. You paid the fee and got inside without drawing the wrong sort of attention. So, after that, after paying for the fee, the 250 gold fee, and that included handing over the pouch, you were allowed through, and you emerged in a walled garden, which was disguised like a mausoleum entrance. You finally reached the first layer of Londinium, and that's where the session ended. With Aura missing, the Writ exposed as far worse than suspected, and the party now inside Londinium with the Tailors of Cambridge ahead of you.
I assume we're now going to look for the Tailors of Cambridge.
That sounds like a plan.
Well, yeah, I would hope so.
I think we should, however, keep to ourselves because we have no idea how many heirs the organization has.
This is very true. I'd like to keep quiet and not make a show of ourselves.
Yeah, it sounds like they have a lot of ears by the sounds of things. Cyrus, did you hear anything back from Ironstead yet?
Well, the place where we're going to receive the letter is, the letter hasn't come back yet, so no. We did send it, just yesterday.
Yeah. But
It
it
takes
should
about
take about 2 days, I think.
2 days, yeah.
So we don't really know what we're getting ourselves into then.
Nope, and even if when we get the letter, it's going to Marla's anyway, so
Yep.
we'll have to go back to
We even
hers
know
to
what we're
get the
doing
letter.
anyways. We're fine.
So,
Yeah.
Keep your wits about you. Don't draw too much attention.
Did anyone get a map of Ironstead?
yeah, you got a
map
map
of
of Ironstead.
The mean of Londinium.
Londinium, sorry.
I believe you don't have a map of Londinium.
So we have no idea where we're going.
Pretty much.
Well, I mean,
We're just going to have to go ask around.
it looks like that's the case.
Yes, seems like that's going to be our only option for now.
The last of the tunnel air clings to you as you climb out into the walled garden. The cold stone, damp earth, and rusted iron and old water. Behind you, the passage narrows back into darkness. The way you came already feeling less like a road and more like a throat that has swallowed your coin and spat you out somewhere you were never meant to stand. The grate above gives way with a low metal groan. Not loud, not enough to echo, but just enough to make you all pause for about half a breath. And then one by one you emerge, not into a street, not into a market, not into an open press of Londinium proper, but into a garden. An enclosed garden. High stone walls rise on all sides, taller than they have any need to be. Smooth-faced and old, their upper edges hidden beneath the creeping ivy, and the narrow shadows of windows set too high to be useful. The ivy has not grown wild, however. It has been cut back, shaped, disciplined. Even the plants here seem to understand that they're allowed to exist, only so long as they behave. The grass beneath your boots is neat, clipped and short, slightly wet, and does not feel soft or it feels maintained. There are pale flowers and roses that are set in long stone planters down one edge of the garden, each blooming, colourless enough to look almost ghostly in the grey light. A thin white gravel path cuts straight through the centre, leading from the hidden grate behind you to a black painted iron gate at the far end. The gate itself is closed. Beyond it, you hear the city, Londinium. Not the outer sprawl of the Silver Lake cities, not the cramped roads around Marla's, not the working noise of forges, lake docks, carts, and shouting traders. This is different. The sound here seems to be controlled. Wheels over smoother stone, boots moving in measured rhythm, distant at the moment. A distant bell with a deeper voice than the ones outside, and low voices, careful voices, the sort of voices that have learned not to travel too far, even clipped somewhat. Somewhere beyond the garden wall, a carriage passes by, and then the silence folds back in. Milo is the first to move. He steps forward slowly, his nose raised, ears sharp, body tense. His wound has been wrapped as best as you could manage, but he still moves like pain is something he has decided to ignore for the moment. Sniffing, once, twice, his head turning towards the iron gates, and a low growl building in his chest. Not loud, not wild, but certain. As the gate gives a soft click, and from somewhere above you, Hidden behind a small wooden shutter set into a wall, a voice speaks. Dry, irritated and unseen. You're paid to enter, not to admire the plants. Out through the gate, left at the blue shrine. Keep your head down. And then the shutter closes. The lock on the iron gate clicks open. And there it is. The way forward. Behind you, the smuggler's tunnel. And ahead of you, Londinium. Somewhere deeper inside, Aura is still missing. What are you doing?
What a lovely welcoming ceremony, wasn't it?
I mean, it's only gonna get worse from here.
It's not like we were expecting a warm welcome. Now, were we?
Well, no. Let's just move forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, that's as he says, I guess.
Well, can I,
Oh.
as we're kind of emerging, can I just have a look around and see if there's kind of like common, any common, would-be hazards, like people, like sketchy people on corners and, just general hazards that could be left out just because of the nature of what this place is.
I mean, absolutely, you can keep your eyes open for that sort of thing, and we will probably have to encounter perception checks.
Yeah.
Can I go stealthy, please?
You can indeed.
So 21 for me.
On a 21, I will keep that noticed. On a 6,
Oh,
you are definitely noticed. If you tried.
Can
Right,
I
but
keep
it isn't stealthy.
unheard of? We're breaking new ground, people. Can I keep an eye out for just any signs that say Tailors of Cambridge?
You can indeed. Though it might not be immediately obvious as you begin to move out from the enclosed garden.
I feel like instead of sneaking around, I'd say Steve keeps to himself. Just not trying to get any attention.
Fair enough. As you begin to move out, you step out through the iron gates and you can see that in front of you is a small church or cathedral, chapel, slightly larger than a chapel maybe, but definitely a place of worship though. And you are in a side alley that runs down the side of this chapel. And as you step out, indeed the path here is more like a picked and chosen gravel rather than the rough cobblestones that you've been used to so far. With your feet crunching on the stones as you're walking down this chapel's side alley, you eventually come towards a small blue shrine at the end of the road that sits just on the corner.
What does it say on it? If it has any text, does it say
Yeah.
who it's dedicated to?
Roll an investigation check for me.
Of course.
Could I
There's-
assist with this?
You can indeed. There's no markings that stand out in terms of who this is dedicated to. But on a 16, does anyone know Thieves' Cant?
Hold on, let me check.
Yeah, yes.
Ooh.
No?
I know Thieves' Tools, not Thieves' Cant.
Jess knows thieves can't.
Okay, so with your knowledge of Thieves' Cant, roll an intelligence check for me, because what you're used to as shorthand from the real world, although this appears to be similar, there are differences.
That'll be a dirty 20.
Ooh. You pick up the dialect and the inferences from the scratched in marks at the base of this blue shrine. And in Thieves' Cant, it just reads dedicated to those that need to travel, that wish to travel peacefully.
Dedicated to those who need to travel, wish to travel peacefully.
Yes.
I'll relay that back to the party. To
What a
those.
nice
So
message.
it's in Thieves' Cant, though. Well, I know it's Thieves' Cant. Probably not.
You'd be calling it shorthand most likely because you've not come across this yet.
Okay. So it looks like it's in something from our world called shorthand. And I only know that because my mum tried to teach me shorthand years ago. I never really picked, well, thought I never really picked much up, but I can read it.
Mm.
I mean, yeah, it's a nice message. Where is this? Where is this shrine? Is it just outside the garden, or?
Yeah, it's at the end of the alley that leads up to where the garden is. So you've come out the gates, you've turned left, and you've headed down, and you've found this blue shrine at the
Right.
end of the road on the corner. And it's it leads out onto a quieter road that you can see up and down, and you're aware that at the end of the street, turning left at the blue shrine, is the main road, or one of the main roads in the first tier of Londinium.
I say.
Mm.
I mean, I suppose it's good as any as notion to say this place is the place for safe travel to get in and out. You know.
Perhaps.
Mm.
I mean, we could always take a look. You know, we might find someone friendly-ish who could tell us the way to the Tailors of Cambridge.
Maybe.
You can good as place as any. I mean, they talk of peace. I would just say be careful because it was obviously coded.
Jess will pull her cowl over her head and say, well, come on then. No use hanging around here. We've got a package to deliver and we need to find this Tailors of Cambridge.
Yeah.
We've
So,
got things to do, people to see.
as you continue turning left at the blue shrine as you were instructed, after a couple of minutes, you come out onto one of the main roads in Londinium. The street is uneven but smooth. It's not your cobblestones as previously you've been experiencing. This is more like layered slate and other stone that has been ground smooth to create a much smoother surface and compacted. You can see the puddles in the road from the previous rainfall from the night before. And you can see various merchants with various wagons. You can see the tall buildings as they lean in and over the street itself. The old style looking buildings from that. Well, you might equate it to Tudor or Edwardian times from your age. But overall, you see the design, and then as you continue looking down the street, you get the most perfect view of what could only be called or considered a palace of sorts. Not too dissimilar to St. Paul's Cathedral with its dome around a large tower, only many, many more poles to support it, and the rest of the building of marble, and it's just it is a spectacular sight to see. You can also see that it's raised, and you can see the various platforms as it towers over this street from the distance that you're at. Imposing almost. The street itself is darker, like a narrow alley in the streets of London from where you're from. And on one side you got the older wooden buildings, on the other side you've got stone and masonry works, and it's this whole mishmash of buildings just brought together onto long straight roads that lead up into the other districts at one end And as you look down the other direction, you can see the various sort of busy streets and shops, bars, pubs, taverns, or inns, whatever you wish to call them. Wagons and barrels all over the streets, out the front of different shops, various shops peddling their wares on the streets and market stands, with the doors behind them firmly closed. There is, in fact, signposts here for several different sort of shops, and a couple of the buildings even look like it might host various shops as you continue walking down the street. And it's busy, crowded, but not overly so. And you notice that as you're walking past, people commenting and talking in low, hushed tones, as if they don't want anyone else to hear what they're saying. And then over that, you've got the hustle and bustle of the market, where the traders are calling out names. Continuing on down this road, you come across what is quite a busy tavern called the Copper Mug, promising good ale, warm fires, and a warm company. And looking in through the window as you pass, you notice what they mean by warm company, and you continue onwards.
Just sort of your place, isn't it, Steve?
Steve's married. I'm sure he's not interested in that kind of warm company.
That would be a wild thing to be into.
Wives from two worlds. Now, how do you explain that one on the marriage certificate?
Oh no! Oh no!
Good night, sweetheart.
Hops through
Sorry,
dimensional
old
portals.
sitcom reference. I mean,
God, you'd have to have a lot of power just to hop between realms to do that. Jesus.
Well, you never know. If Steve stays here long enough, he might be able to.
He becomes the Lich.
But nevertheless, as you are walking up and down, you do eventually come across another little shop. This time it's not trying to present itself. It's not trying to stand out. It just is. It's managed, not manicured. It's a very different look and feel to the rest of the buildings either side of it. This is only 2 stories, whereas the others are maybe 3, sometimes even 4 high. And out the front you see a very simple sign, that of a sewing needle with a thread attached to it, and underneath the words, Tailors of Cambridge.
That.
looks like we found the place, guys.
Yeah,
Nice, nice.
that was easier
Don't
than
say
I
it.
thought.
Don't say no. Don't say it.
That was
Aside
too
puts his
easy.
hand over his mouth. Shush! All
No.
of you, shush!
Look, okay, we've been here, what, 2-3 weeks? And already people have tried to murder us, what, 3-4 times? Our companion's been kidnapped. We have a right to be suspicious that this is too easy.
As you're saying this and having this conversation,
Quietly, I may add.
hmm,
Under my breath, like, we have a right to be suspicious.
as you are having this conversation, you notice, Tom, as you've been walking, that there are regular patrols of Black Glass Writs in pairs, walking up and down, keeping an eye on the streets and looking at various people, including yourselves. And as you're having the conversation, that's when you notice, Tom, that there are a couple of eyes that are steadily watching you. But as you notice them, they glance away and begin to walk off.
Chris is just gonna narrow their eyes, but and just be like, "Well, I think it's definitely time to go inside," and then just almost pushing them in.
Jess is right there with you.
I'm just letting
Excellent.
myself be pushed inside.
Excellent. As you enter the Tailors of Cambridge, either side, as you're going through the door, you notice that there are legal scribes' offices either side, and on an opposite is a shuttered tea room. Narrow, clean. This place, however, Tailors of Cambridge, far too well kept to be ordinary for Londinium. Dark, polished wood frames the windows. Brass fittings catch the light, and a painted sign hanging above the door with the careful lettering, Tailors of Cambridge. In smaller script, sitting in one of the window panes, of which, if you were to count, there would be 16 per pane of glass where one normal window would be. But in there is a small note that says, alterations, court dress, and private commissions. The window display is immaculate. Coats on carved stands, waistcoats cut with sharp lines, dresses pinned into shapes that seem simple until you look twice and realise how much work has gone into making them look effortless. And as you open the door, the bell above gives a delicate chime as you enter, and inside the smell changes immediately. From the streets of Londinium, where there was that damp, musky odour of everyday use and people, and God knows what's been thrown down those gutters at several early hours of the morning. Inside, instead, it smells more like pressed linen and chalk, steam, lavender, tea, and dust. And beneath it, something almost familiar to those that are not of this world. Not enough to be home, but definitely enough to pull on those heartstrings. Man behind the counter looks up from a ledger that he has been writing in. He's perhaps in his late 40s, possibly early 50s. He appears to be clean-shaven, very well dressed, composed in a way that feels practiced rather than natural, and his eyes move over you all quickly. Faces, clothes, weapons, down at Milo, the package, the blood, missing person, shaped hole in the group, and he closes the ledger. You're late! And a woman's voice comes. Sorry?
Chris would have just been like, I didn't realise there was a time we were meant to be here.
I didn't realise you were expecting us.
A woman steps out from behind a curtain as it parts. No, James, look at them. And she steps out with a length of pale fabric over one arm and pins held between her lips. She removes them carefully, one at a time, placing them into a small cushion at her wrist. And her eyes land on Milo, then on the torn black bit of cloth, then back at you all. Oh, hell. James looks up. Close the door, dear. Victoria moves past him and turns the sign in the window, not to closed, to unavailable. And James simply looks up and says, closed doors invite questions. Unavailable ones merely disappoint people.
So you've
That's
been
really
expecting us.
Or are we not who you expected? Sorry, I'm a bit confused here.
I have... Well, let me guess. You come through a route you should not know about, carrying a delivery you do not fully understand, looking for people you have been told may understand more than they should. And
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, I was going to say, are we perhaps getting some wires crossed here?
I don't think so. I mean, look at your shoes.
What's wrong with my shoes?
Jess will look down at her shoe and she's obviously wearing, I think she's probably wearing her new rocks. What's wrong with my shoes?
Chris is wearing their shoes that they had from Earth. Like they haven't changed.
Same.
Clearly not from around here. Clearly had to get in through closed doors, shall we say. And if I'm correct, travelled travelled quite the distance. Simply will not do. Your game has been given away already, and I've only just taken a glance at you. So, I have one question. To which
Yes.
Victoria looks down. No, James, don't be so harsh. Look at the dog. And she crouches, not touching Milo, but she crouches next to him. Looks at the wound, looks at the bandage, looks up at you, Chris. What's happened to the poor soul?
He got attacked. With one of our friends who is now missing. By I'm sure you can guess.
Sure we can guess. I have a good inkling as to who you refer.
I patched him up. We patched him up as best we could.
Fair enough. And judging from the looks of you all, I think it's going to be a safe bet that we have some measurements to take.
I mean, Elizabeth did fit us out with the outfits. I think I'm wearing the outfit. I don't know if Chris and Steve are, but Elizabeth
I'm
did.
not
I'm
taking
sure you've heard of
this
Elizabeth.
off. And they're looking at their kind of woolen vest. And just like, I'm not taking this off. I really like this.
Jess
Yeah,
is wearing
Steve-
clothes from this world that Elizabeth made her, other than her new rocks.
Yeah, so is Steve. He is wearing the outfit from Elizabeth.
Chris, as they got like a lighter cotton shirt, but they also basically cropped it themselves and kind of hemmed it up. So they
Fair
I don't know.
enough. Well, James looks at you all. That question that you want to ask that is left unasked at this stage that you want me to ask.
Jess will ask it.
Go on. What do you think the
You're
question...
not from round here.
Huh.
I think the question is, are you from Earth? More particularly, are you from England?
Hushed.
UK just in general.
Hushed tones. This city...
Jess would have said it quietly.
This city, the walls have ears. As to answer your question, obviously.
Obviously.
But you're not from our timeline.
Obviously.
Or rather, you're not from... Stop it. You're not from... Stop. You're not from our time, though, are you? You're from a long way... Far before... I can't talk. You're from way before we came here in the 21st century.
Oh, has it been that long? Well,
Yes.
wonder what has changed over 100 years then.
Wait, what year?
A lot.
Well, what year was it for you?
It was 2025.
And for us, it was 1925.
Oh, that's old. Oh, you didn't.
You've definitely missed out on a lot. The world's
Chris is
changed
gonna hold up their
massively
hand.
since you left.
Chris is gonna hold up their hands and it's just gonna be like, there was a Second World War.
And Jess will. I mean,
Why does that not surprise me that such a thing would occur?
But don't worry.
also technology massively advanced, as in, and God, Jess, what are you doing? Jess will pull out
Oh, no.
her mobile phone and say,
He was going to
"You
go
didn't have
sleep when you.
computer." It's not even.
Did I
You
take
wouldn't even
the
know what a
mobile
computer
phone?
is. So, this is like a personal computer in your pocket that does everything and makes telephone calls, or as you would know it, the telegraph. And then she'll put it back in her pocket.
Oh my god.
There's a lot to put on someone just completely randomly, especially someone from your own
Hello, we've just
goddamn
walked in the
place.
door.
Like,
No.
yeah, no,
Hello,
no,
we're
like,
from the future.
like you two seem very nice. I dearly apologize, but
One
Jess,
one thing that you all notice is that both James and Victoria do not look shocked in the slightest. James simply says yes and pauses. Victoria looks at you all. Your clothes were the first clue. Posture, second.
Wrong with my posture?
What's wrong with our posture?
Exactly.
And the
don't make
planet
these guys self-conscious.
behind your eyes tends to be the third clue. And James chimes in then at that point. And the fact that you are apparently carrying modern habits into a city that eats carelessness for breakfast is the fourth. Victoria looks at you all. Would you all care to sit down for some tea? Perhaps we can teach you some etiquette. James shoots her a look. Victoria looks at him and sees it, noticing, what? They look like they need a cup of tea.
Jess needs a cup of tea.
Yeah, tea's good.
I don't think I've ever had tea before.
Osiris, you are in for a treat.
Osiris is a coffee
Cannot
drinker,
live.
or as this one
Welcome.
world will be, wake nut juice.
Wake nut. Tea is
Oh, yeah.
tea is life.
He
Tea
loves
is
Welcome
wake
to
life.
our
nut juice.
culture.
Victoria
Well-
stands up and walks out the back, and after about 5, maybe 6 minutes, comes back with a freshly brewed pot of tea and some very fine china mugs to drink it from. As your conversation continues,
So how do you know so much about the modern world, or are you just guessing, or are there others like us here?
there are things that do not belong in this world, and of all those that travel and arrive here from other worlds, you are either from Earth, or you are from the Feywild, or you could be from another rather unfortunate plane of hell. Oh yes, by the way, that's one thing you might end up having to learn. Hell is real. So if you're not religious, I'd get so.
Or would have a field day, man.
Wait, did you guys not
She
know
really
hell's
would.
real here?
No, it's just a fairy story from where we're from to kind of scare people into line.
Well, it's not a fairy story. It's more just like religion.
Tomato, tomato.
And
But
what's religion
Oh.
in our world?
There's
In
so
our
many
world,
stories of
what's
people going to
religion?
hell.
As
Jess is just gonna stop.
okay, fair enough.
Exasperation.
As Victoria returns, you've had a chance to have a conversation amongst yourselves, and you've noticed a few other things about this place. Everything else in the shop seems polished, measured, and controlled. The cups that you're drinking from, just one little detail. The teapot is from a completely different set, different patterns, and different ages. Slightly chipped at the handle. The teapot looks painfully close to something that could have sat in your kitchen back home. James doesn't sit, but Victoria does, and she places a cup nearest Milo too, then seems to realise what she's done and quietly replaces it with a bowl of water. Milo sniffs it and takes a drink, as she continues to pour all of you a cup of tea. James looks over at you all as you sit there drinking your tea.
Before I drink it, can I just check it's not been tampered with, please?
Yeah, of course you can.
What would that be?
That would be, I'm debating on nature, medicine, or nature, medicine, or investigation. What are you proficient in any of them?
Investigation.
Then roll me an investigation check as you Attempt to decipher whether this has been tampered with in any way.
While
23.
she's checking that, I'm already drinking mine.
Fair enough.
Aspen's just
Was
getting
fair.
in there.
On a 23, as you investigate it, you seem to have very clear sinuses today, and you can smell the soft hint of chamomile in the cup as the smell of the tea wafts. It is a chamomile calming tea.
Fair enough. I'll let the guys know. Yeah, it's just chamomile tea.
Nice.
I will still take a sip. Hold on. I will actually roll if you'll actually. I will roll a d4 odds and evens if you like it or not. Where's
Just
my
a shame it's not Earl Grey. I really miss Earl Grey.
even select
No, chamomile is always so much better. I always prefer herbal teas.
He will put the tea down. He does not like tea.
No.
Fair enough.
Oh, come on. We both know jasmine is the best kind of tea.
Ooh.
I mean, jasmine.
Chocolate Earl Grey. Chocolate Earl Grey is the best, but they've discontinued this, and I'm still very upset.
I think for a reason.
Spite.
So, let's start from the beginning then.
Would you like to know?
What brings you to Londinium? Let's start with a simple question.
Besides
have a package-
kidnapping of our friend.
We also have a package to deliver for Lord Whitmore.
Also to find you.
Right.
A
Sharp
lot of
and,
answers, you know.
sharp and to the point. Well, first of all, I would advise that you don't mention your missing friend. These walls tend to have ears where you least expect it.
I've said that several times. What are we supposed to be looking out for when you say the walls have ears? You mean spies everywhere?
Not so much spies, informants. You notice where we're positioned. Either side of us there is a legal scribe's office. And as much as we've taken precautions to dampen any sound that can travel through these walls, we can't guarantee that it's not being overheard. Yes, we are aware that you have a friend missing. When you are out and about, I would advise you choose your wording very carefully when you are talking to people. Your friend went missing. Fine. Don't mention any names.
I have a question for you, both.
Please ask.
Why haven't you gone back?
Why would we want to go back when we found we can live, nearly 500 years longer here?
Don't you miss home, your family?
Not at all.
Wait, hold on. Did you say that you can just live longer here? 500 years longer here? Did you find a way to get back?
We found a way, and then promptly declined the offer.
Right.
There are certain beings in this world that you do not want to make a deal with, though they will come true on their promise or their end of the bargain. It can be troublesome in terms of its cost. I know for a fact that back on Earth there are various fairy tales of little leprechauns and mischievous fairies. I wonder if those... Actually, there's a question for you. Are those bedtime stories of the evil fairies and other fey creatures told to the children to keep them in line?
They don't tell those stories these days.
Well, it depends on which ones.
What about the three bears that maul Goldilocks at the end of the tale because of her stealing their food?
I forget.
Funny enough,
not
I've been told that plenty of times actually.
Jess will turn to Chris and say, "What, you've not read the real Grimm stories? That's
Come
the
on,
real
don't
story. You're
read
thinking of the
books.
Disney-fied one."
I don't read books.
I'm sorry,
We
Disney?
can tell.
Disney-fied story?
Mickey Mouse, Steamboat Willie, you would have known that.
Oh yes, I'm aware of the moving pictures.
Oh god, that is Steamboat Willie. All of that. That mouse got really big. Like.
Yeah,
got
we have
really,
moving
really
pictures in our homes now, and on the little device I showed you earlier.
Oh,
I think
interesting.
Yeah.
But you said the fairy tales have changed. How so?
So, Steamboat Willie, the Disney people who made Steamboat Willie, they kind of made it family friendly, shall we say, with happy endings.
Happy endings for a thief.
Yep.
Yeah, I think she makes friends with the bears, doesn't she, in the end, and then says goodbye or something. I don't know. Even
Well, the
Sleeping
Puss
Beauty
in
was the
Boots.
same. Happy
The
ending.
Puss in Boots film. That was all like, oh, she was like family with the bears and stuff.
Huh. My god, the world's gone soft.
I mean, you're not wrong
Okay.
in parts.
We're not telling you the worst parts yet. Trust me.
There's worse than that.
Oh,
Much.
far worse. Much worse.
Chris is gonna lean over to Aspen and just be like, I think that they would call people snowflakes on Twitter.
God forbid. We might want to stay quiet about some things.
I say we destroy them. Don't say we destroy them. Destroy their tiny brains. Twitter.
Chris
I will
love Twitter.
I will have you know that if there's one thing that this world has taught me over the other world, it's no matter what hardship you have to come through, whether it's a world war, a war to end all wars, they said. And you went ahead and told me there was another one?
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, no, there's been plenty of wars. Not
We were
just
on the
that, but
verge
not
of-
just those two wars.
Mm,
There's been
we're on the
wars in the
verge of
Middle
another
East, wars in Vietnam, wars. The world has pretty much been at war for a
Ever.
very long time.
Why is your world at war so much?
Some things never change.
War never changes.
What's it good for?
Sorry, I didn't actually catch your names, but you have ours. Should we have an introduction?
I'm Jess.
Yes.
I'm sorry, is there something funny about my name? It's short for Jessica.
There we go.
No one calls me Jessica. I hate it. It's just Jess.
My advice would be to get used to the name Jessica, because in this part of the world, in Londinium, a longer, fanciful name with a matching garment can travel distances and get you places. Jess.
Well, I'm screwed then.
Are you suggesting I wear a dress?
Not immediately, but should the need arise, we're here, and we can adorn you for any proper court engagements.
Jess just looks horrified at the notion of having to wear a fancy dress.
Spinner's right there with Jess.
Chris.
Chris. Very well.
Does that need a lengthening or?
Is it short for Christopher, perchance?
No.
Your name is just Chris.
Well, no, it does. It is short for. It's short for Christine, actually, but no one calls me Christine.
Christine.
Yeah. It's the same with Jess. No one calls me Christine. It's Chris.
And pray tell, why did your parents give you a female name when you appear to be male?
Chris just gets
going to sit on. Jess is going to sit on
One
her
at
hands.
a time, please. One at a time, please. Chris.
Go first. Go. Chris just has a weird face on now.
What's that look for?
No one's asked me that in a really long time.
Huh. Well, it's good to get to know the people. Good to get to know your clientele.
I'm not.
But you are.
I hate talking about myself like this. I'm not either.
No?
Nah.
So what are you
I
then?
just don't want to be perceived as any one thing. I don't like being put in a box.
Many
I'm
people.
just Chris.
Just Chris. That's fine. Many people don't like being put in a box. Understanding the true value of being in that box and recognizing the fact that you are being put in a box is the first step to actually being able to get out of the box.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I say. That's what I always say. You guys have all heard me say that.
Until you accept it, you can't get out of it. So, with that being said, think about it for yourself. Whatever it is you are not accepting, learn to accept it before you can release it. And I promise you, you'll have a much easier time of change, should time of change ever come. No? Huh. Well, and what about yourself, good sir? As
My name's who is it?
As she looks at you, Steve, yes.
Yeah. My name is Steve.
Steve!
Or Steven, actually.
Stephen.
That's my full name. Yeah.
Huh. You are different to the others, ever so slightly. Do you know how I can tell?
Enlighten me.
Your back is slightly straighter, there's less curvature at the top of the spine, and you seem to be able to hold your posture in a almost perfect balance without even realizing it. Therefore, that tells me that you are someone who has trained, possibly in performing arts or dance.
You would be correct. I am a martial arts teacher. Or was. Am.
So you see, everyone, this is what we mean by your posture gives it away. If you actually study the posture of everyone else in this city, you will find that each type of seller, each type of person, each type of noble, each type of knight, each hold themselves in a certain way, like they've been trained or practiced in it. But the way you all hold your postures, that's different, stands out, and is noticeable, at least to people like us. Maybe not so much to those on the outskirts of Londinium's cities. However, here, that sort of thing can get you noticed. Which is the reason why I'm going to offer you all a measurements to be taken in good, sturdy boots that you can all wear that are from this period, shall we call it, and clothing that actually suits the environment that you are in. What you are wearing, what you got from Elizabeth Taylor, if I'm correct, is good.
Yeah.
It's good. It's very, very good quality. Hell, she has even given me a run for my money on the catwalks at our various fashion galas. Not gonna lie, she is a talented woman. But here they expect a slightly different class of clothing. And I'm not saying any of this to slight you in any way. I'm merely saying this for your benefit. I would advise you take the offer. As for the favour, in return, well, that will be for you to free your friend. Because if that happens, certain cracks will happen in a society built up of nobles and fear. Cracks means progress. So, James, still standing by the counter, gives a gentle cough. Have any of you got a plan for today's... have any of you got any idea or plans for the rescue that you want to perform?
We don't even know where she's being held.
And we still have a package to deliver.
He gives a quick glance down at Milo. He'll know.
Yeah, I was going to say, we can follow Milo for that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is Milo, by the way. His name is Milo. He's very important to our group.
I can see.
And Chris is just gonna lean down and just give him a rag on the head.
Milo responds lovingly and then goes back to slurping up some water. Well, here's some advice. If you run at the writ, and trust me, plenty do run at the writ and have a go at them, I promise you'll get about 3 streets from here, and that will be the end.
Yeah, from what we've encountered, and we've only encountered a few, might I add, being head on with them is not the way to proceed.
Victoria looks up at you. Correct. If you're lucky, they'll kill you in public. And if you're unlucky, they decide that you're useful too. James responds. And if they know you're coming, she will be moved before you could even reach the first locked door. So I'd stop thinking like heroes. And it seems like you've already got that screw screwed in tight. For once, I'm actually glad to be helping a party of people who seem to know what the right thing to do here is.
Being rash was never my strong suit.
As I would expect from someone who's a martial artist.
So it seems like our only option would be subtlety. Stick to the shadows.
For now.
Takes to their own medicine.
But make sure you're thinking like people who actually want her back.
Of course we want her back. She's our friend.
So what I can tell you is what will help. A name, a seal, a route, a transfer order, a door, and just the right moment. Heed that well.
Sorry, can you say that again? You cut out for me.
What James said was, what will help is a name, a seal, a route, a transfer order, a door, and the right moment.
Thank you.
Now, on to the next part of why you're here. You mentioned a delivery.
Yes, for Lord Whitmore.
The wrong name. Do you know how I know it's the wrong name?
How is it the wrong name?
Because Lord Whitestaff
Sorry, my bad. Yeah.
placed the order from the lantern rights through me.
So the package is for you?
No, it's for Lord Whitestaff.
Via you?
No, I'm just the messenger.
So where do we find this gentleman?
Victoria looks up and goes, of course. Just to let you know, Lord Whitestaff is a bit of a disaster in this town. Yes, dear. Lord Whitestaff indeed is not safe. Let's be very clear about that. He is, Victoria pipes in, exactly the sort of man people call respectable, because he can afford to have other people do the ugly parts. But
Power.
But he is access. And right now, access is probably worth a little bit more than courage, shall we say.
When you say he's not safe, what do you mean?
He is a man who pays others to do the dirty and ugly work for him, whilst he simply reaps the rewards from those that are unfortunate enough to find themselves on the wrong side of that purse.
Well, sounds like the 21st century to me.
Only without all these modern gadgets.
We have a lot of men like him now, in our time.
You'll find plenty of them throughout all of the ages. Never changes. The greed of one always outweighs the need of the many when it comes to societal pressures.
Now that we can agree on.
However, if you have legitimate reason to move through Londinium, why not use it? If you're expected somewhere, it becomes much harder to stop you. Without... So?
I was going to ask, where do we find him?
I think the first question you should be asking is, how do we travel through Londinium safely?
So how do we travel through Londinium safely?
Now that's the right sort of question to be asking. You become a lot harder to stop if you have the paperwork. The writ enjoy pressing fear, but they just adore proper paperwork, making sure everything is in pristine order, signed, sealed, and delivered. That's where we come in.
And what will it cost us?
Now there's an awfully vulnerable question.
I'd just like to know what we're dealing with.
I would say that's slightly better phrasing, but I think you could rephrase that and do better. This is a lesson on etiquette, after all.
I like to know who we're dealing with.
Thank you.
Jess will give a hard stare and cross her arms and be like, well?
You are dealing with someone who is of consequence and is connected to the writ. That is who Lord Whitestaff is.
Brilliant. So we're walking into the lion's den.
I would say you're walking into the pen at the petting zoo compared to a lion's den with Lord Whitestaff, but he is still very, very dangerous.
Instead of a lion's den, I think it's rather more a font of information.
Correct. He will have plenty of answers for plenty of questions, providing you don't ask anything direct. It should slip past his radar, and if he is in a particularly good mood, you might get a little bit more information from him.
What kind of pleasures does this man have? What can we do to get on his...
As you say, what kind of pleasures this man have, James and Victoria both burst out laughing.
Let me rephrase.
Please do.
How can we get on his good side?
It's not so much getting on his good side, it's more a case of staying off his other side. He has one major character flaw, and why he still trusts us, I don't know, but he does. After all, we've pretty much got all the evidence we need against him to hand into the writ anyway, if we chose to. But he's useful. Leverage and alcohol, my friend.
That was about to be my next question. Does he like to drink?
Oh, he's particularly fond of a tipple of whiskey that we managed to secure from the last person who travelled through here and then moved on. We only have one bottle of, I think it's called Jack Daniels, left.
That is not a good quality whiskey.
I'm glad you recognise that, but he doesn't realise so.
Would it be
But if it's Jack Daniels? Well, if it's Jack Daniels and he likes to drink, I say we, have a drink. Why are you looking at me like that? Yes, I like to drink. Women drink a lot in the 21st century.
That explains a few things.
Ouch!
Damn. That's brutal. That's brutal.
Brutal.
She, Victoria.
In the 21st century, it's also like a lot less okay to be rude to women. And Chris holds up their hand, just saying.
Oh, good. Seems like women's rights I believe they were fighting for at the time may have won out in the end, possibly?
Yes. Yes, we can even vote and hold our own credit cards and own our own houses.
However, it's still not as equal as it could be.
We're still in a patriarchy.
We can even work in the medical profession.
Well, now there is progress, and I am glad to hear of it.
Hang on. You have things like Jack Daniels, but you're telling me that
Yes.
no, and you've seen others and stuff like that. I'm sure you mentioned that earlier, but you've not heard of anything else from the 21st century or just later than your time, like women's rights. This is the first time you're hearing of it.
The other gentleman that passed through this way,
Okay, never mind. Understood.
let's just say he was rather boisterous
Amen. Got
and
it.
out of place, slightly misogynistic,
Mm-hmm.
and, well, if it wasn't for James here, I know for damn sure I would have given him a slap myself.
Good.
I mean, I vote you should have done it anyway, but, you know, to each their own.
I second that vote.
I think
Well-
he deserved it, to be honest.
Well, all I can say is his name... What was his name again? Jeff, I think he called himself.
Wasn't Bezos, was it?
Oh, no.
no,
this
I'll
out.
take it. That is hilarious. That is hilarious.
No,
For
not...
anyone who is-
Not... No, he didn't give his surname. But let's just say he was one of those wannabe cowboys from, like, Texas, I think he said.
Oh yeah, no, that's understandable then.
Absolutely understandable.
Oh my god, I know who this is.
Sorry to any Texans listening.
They know what the state is like.
We mean Texans derogatory, not. No.
I mean, he was... How can I put it? My mama said, and my mama was wise, and my mama this, and my mama that. He was obnoxious. And if he wasn't saying about how wise his mama was, well, he was trying to chat up every woman that walked into the store. We quickly turfed him out and told him there was a shop in Viridia that would hire him.
Viridia?
It's another city that's a bit further out along the eastern borders between Albion and, well, the next continent across, which... that's a whole different story. But yes, Viridia, it's a place where they like pushing the boundaries of what steam can do. Some of it's trickling down here. Take our lamps, for example, that we have. And as you get up into the higher tiers here, things like the plumbing for water transfer and hot water being pushed around the buildings. Some of it, the technology is trickling down to those that are rich and can afford it from Viridia. But for the most part, it's a city unto itself. I mean, don't get us wrong, we've got pipes, but they're not pumped the way they are in Viridia. One day I'll head over there myself, just to get to see it.
Anyway, you were saying about this Lord Whitestaff. You can get us to him to deliver this package?
We can, yes. Let's just go over a couple of bits first, shall we? And you hear him cough differently this time. And James and Victoria both pretty much stand upright, straighten themselves off, almost with practiced discipline. And you can feel the tension in the air change instantly. The bell above the door rings. There's no knock, there's no warning, just the door opening, the chime ringing, and two people walking in. Once again, it's that same delicate chime. Victoria stopping mid-sentence. James turns slowly towards the door with a smile already forming across his face, smooth and immediate, like a mask being lifted into place. And two figures step inside, both wearing dark, formal coats over what appears to be polished armour. Not full military dress, not quite civic guard, not quite noble retinue. Maybe something between all three. Their gloves are black, their boots are clean, and their shoulder clasps are silver-edged. And worked into each clasp is the mark that you all know far too well, the Black Glass Writ. One of them looks around the shop without appearing to look around the shop, whilst the other removes a glove, one glove, finger by finger, deliberately and slowly. Cambridge! James gives a small bow of the head. Ah, Captain Sorrel. Victoria's face doesn't change, and the Writ officer glances towards her. Mrs. Cambridge? Victoria smiles. Ah, still not dead then. James doesn't move, but somehow the room feels like it's just stepped on her foot. Captain Sorrel smiles back. Not for a lack of invitation. Behind Captain Sorrel is an attendant, who appears to be silent, but looking around just as much as Captain Sorrel was, carrying what appears to be a document case, and paying particular attention to Milo, and watching weapons that you may have at your sides or on your back, and in particular seems to be watching your hands.
Can I get an insight check?
You can
Quickly.
indeed.
I want to
Can I
see
do
if
one as
they're
well?
hostile.
Fair enough. Roll your insight check, please.
Want me to give you the help action?
I have a +2, so if you want to,
I got a +4.
How can
I'll
you?
give you the help action.
How can you give a help action to an insight?
I'm not
Can
sure
give help?
not sure you can on an insight check in this
Alright,
case
listen.
because you are silent
Oh,
and observing. Steve, no. Cyrus,
Oh my! That was almost an 11. I'm going to crash.
no.
as you are looking over at these two that have stepped in, it becomes quite obvious to the Writ attendant that you are taking notice of them. And the Writ attendant is making it quite obvious that he is taking notice of you in response, but still saying nothing. Captain Sorrel speaks up first. Is it ready then? Of course. You said that last time, and last time you arrived 2 hours early. Captain Sorrel tapping her foot. Well, I dislike waiting. Victoria pipes in with a, yes, we had noticed. James gives Victoria a very, very small look that you are all getting used to noticing. Well, your coat is prepared, the inner lining has been reinforced as requested, no visible stitching, no snagging under the left arm, and the clasp has also been replaced as requested. The old clasp was damaged? Yes, and so were 3 of my needles. Oh, how unfortunate. Indeed, they were good needles. James walks out the back and picks up what appears to be a very neatly and pressed coat and lays it on the table. Captain Sorrel, whilst this is going on. And who are these? James looks up and quickly says, Private commission. All of them? Sadly, yes. Group work is rarely tasteful, but it does pay well. They need to look respectable by nightfall. The Writ attendant looks over at all of you. Captain Sorrel also takes notice. It's a rather ambitious plan, isn't it? Victoria responds, I said respectable, not miraculous. There's a small smile that creeps over Sorrel's face as that one falls and the group stays silent. Is there anything anyone would like to do or say at this point?
Nope. Jess is just going to
biting
look.
One at a time,
Sorry.
please, Jess.
Yeah.
Jess just wants to try and look as intimidating as she can, as if she's really annoyed they're interrupting their consultation.
Fair enough. Roll an intimidation check for me.
Oh no. Oh, please roll well. Please roll well. Look, given my rolls recently.
I was going to say also, Aspen has kind of stood arms crossed.
Yeah, that's a no.
To Jess.
Right.
I don't know.
Wait, my intimidation. Oh, that was a natural one.
Oh no! Oh no!
Okay.
Jess is not intimidating.
No, you really aren't. In fact, your arms crossed looking more... Your frown looking more comical than anything else. So, Aspen, what did you want to do, if anything?
Sorry, I think I interrupted Chris as well. I don't know if you want to go first.
Yeah, you can go first.
Okay.
Chris is
Okay.
just, literally all I was going to say is Chris is just biting their cheek at the moment, like the inside of their cheek. They are trying to keep quiet.
Roll me a charisma check.
Ew.
Why?
Oh no.
Because the DM is evil.
Oh,
Natural 20.
Complete opposite of Jess. Chris, you are keeping yourself under such a tight control. It is a pure poker face that's coming across at this moment. Aspen, what did you want to do?
Kind of in the same way Jess is, sort of beside Jess anyway. Again, arms crossed, kind of stood as tall as I can be, shoulders stiff, glaring down at them, fingers digging into my forearms a little bit.
Fair enough. Give me an intimidation check then.
Where is that sheet? Okay.
11.
Dick!
It's definitely more convincing of an intimidation check than Jess's, but I would say that it comes more off as annoyance rather than intimidation to try and hurry them up.
That works.
I need to make a single roll for Milo at this point.
Puppy.
Quick question: is anyone else's D&D Beyond being really glitchy and slow with the dice rolls?
Yes.
Not at the moment. Mine is actually being more well behaved than it usually is.
You've taken all of it from us.
You've taken the curse. You've taken
Oh
and given us the
dear.
curse.
I have just rolled double eights.
Oh.
Milo starts growling at Captain Sorrel.
Can Steve make an animal handling check to try to calm him down?
You certainly can.
Like try to tell him, okay, now is not the time to bark.
You certainly can. As the growl continues, though, in the meantime, Captain Sorrel looks over and says, "It's a bit of a restless animal, isn't it?"
He's just got anxiety.
Victoria pipes up. "You can see he's clearly wounded." Captain Sorrel, "Yes, I can see that." "Then why ask?" James pipes in. "He was injured on the outer roads, nothing more." Looking back at Milo, Captain Sorrel responds finally with, "Everything comes into Londinium wounded eventually," and turns back to look at the coat. What did you roll for your animal handling?
A 7.
Oh my god.
Oh no. Oh no, 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 no.
Milo begin. Can
I bend down and just be able to give you either roll my own animal handling or give you advantage? I don't care, but I bend down and just put like a hand on his side and just.
I will allow your own roll at this stage.
Cheers.
and I help with this by casting Cure Wounds on Milo. I don't have Cure Wounds. Never mind. Ignore me completely. I thought I took it as a spell. I didn't.
14.
You manage to calm Milo, and he stops growling, but not without a couple of whimpers before he does.
You're
James,
good, pal.
sorry, say that again.
You're good, pal. Don't worry.
Oh. James unfurls the coat. Long, dark coat that's been folded over. It is beautifully made. And that's the first thing about this coat that you notice. The second thing that you notice is that the inside lining is thicker than it should be. Not like armour, but it's definitely not cloth either. And Captain Sorrell takes it without any thanks. The attendant opens a document case and places several coins on the counter. Placed, counted, and already counted. James doesn't count them. That feels like a bit of a power move from where you're sat. Feels important that he doesn't count them. And Sorrell fastens the glove once more, one finger at a time, pulling it back onto his hand. And at the door, the captain pauses, turns, looks back. Cambridge. James looks up. Yes. Try not to make anything interesting. Victoria smiles at this. No promises. And Sorrell's eyes move once more across all of you. And then the two officers from the Writ leave, bell chiming once more delicately as the door closes. No one speaks for a moment before Victoria exhales. Arsehole. And James finally counts the coins on the desk. Correct, but alive. James looks over at you. Well, that seemed ordinary. Victoria looks up and says, after sitting down again, I think that was the point. They do not need to raid homes every day. They only need people to know what they can. They only need people to know what they could, that they could. And now they have seen you. Not enough to move against you, though. No, but it is enough to remember their faces, James. Well, dear, I guess we proceed carefully then. And that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Ooh.
Good thing I know Alter Self now.
Yeah, that helps you, man.
And
We're a party.
yeah, that helps. What about the rest of us?
We need to get new outfits and get really good at makeup, you guys.
Yeah, we need like disguise kits.
I'm honestly take disguise self like permanently. I can change it out. I can prepare my spells as an artificer. So I'm taking disguise self. Let me sleep.
What about myself, Chris, and Aspen?
Good luck.
Well,
Good luck. Wow. Harsh.
I'm gonna just get an eyeliner and just draw on a mustache and hope for the best.
Yep.
Well, considering you've all come into this and looking pretty boyish.
Chris with literally the most noticeable hairstyle ever.
Aspen's hair's green as well, so I think we're all like...
I think at this stage it's been about 3 weeks, so it's probably fading.
Jess's hair's black naturally, so it's fine. But Jess has like waist-length hair, but dresses really masculine because she's such a tomboy. So yeah.
Maybe the best disguise would be to wear a dress, Jess.
No. I
think all of us
know.
And on
also, guys, I drew Chris.
Yeah.
Cool.
They look really cool. That's Chris.
Nice.
How what they're wearing at the moment.
Fair enough. What we'll do is we will put that on the picture reel on the stream for the next session, and we will end this session here and stop the stream. Before I do, I'm just going to very quickly once again remind everyone We won't be on next week. There won't be a fireside chat. So come back again in 2 weeks' time for the next episode of Dice and Destiny. Bye!
Bye-bye.
Bye.